Get there when we get there. That's this afternoon. In the meantime, let's trade some tech companies with Alan Nuckman, Chief Market Strategist at bullseyeoption.com. All right, Alan, you're looking for a beat-down chip maker to come back. That's the climb. Okay. Walk me through it.
All right. So I want to show you the tiptoe. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. We were tiptoeing back into tech from a risk-reward standpoint, and we talked about HPQ. And also with Ben, I had talked about AMD, and both have had a modest little drift higher. So looking at this sector, this is a stock that's really been beaten down. It's 40% off its top from January, but it's still 80% off its COVID low. And I know you love, the PE here is 7. So we're looking at Micron's trading about 56 right now. But you've been seeing it trade between 50 and 60 for the last 2 months, and it's holding above that 55 midpoint pivot, which is very important, which could send it to the top of the near-term range.
All right. Good old single-digit PE for Micron. The problem is it's been a single-digit for a while. It keeps on doing this.
Right. It can always get more single-digit, I guess. But in the bigger picture, it's been trading in a pattern that I like to see. It's been between 50 and 70 now for the last 5 or 6 months or so. So that 60 seems to be an important level. If we can push through 60, that can get the ball rolling. Now, in your last segment with Ben, you guys had a long discussion, but there was very little about the key issue of the last couple of weeks, the last 6 weeks, I guess, is the dollar. The dollar's back down to 110.
That's because we hit that at the top of the show.
That's very much a positive. That's what we've been waiting for. That's a sign that obviously the destination is in sight when it comes to rates. Now, you could see a rotation into some of these tech stocks that have been dogs for a long, long time. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a $50 call. Again, the low for this stock in the last year has been 50. A $50 call is trading for about 8.5 or 9 or so right now. It's $6 or $7 in the money, and it's got a delta of about 75%. It's a January option, so it has a little bit less than 3 months of time. But if you get some movement on this, you get this back up to 65, which is the midpoint of a breakout of the 60. Then this option does very, very well mathematically. So that's what I'm looking for. I think in the next couple of months, you could see some relief rallies in some of these tech stocks that are really beaten down. And this is what I like as far as a probability play to profit.
You're going pretty far in the money here with the 50 strike. It's about $1.50 above the lows for the year, so it seems like a pretty safe entry place.
Right. Again, it's just very basic. It's the stock substitution strategy. I'm buying an in-the-money option with the right to be long from 50, as opposed to putting in a limit price and saying, listen, I'd like to buy Micron if it sells off one more time and put in a limit to buy at 50. Well, this allows me to have that right to be long from 50 with a deep in-the-money option with some time for some good things to happen, ties up less money, limited risk. So there's a lot of positive attributes with this basic strategy that I think people don't appreciate as much as they should. It's just using options as a vehicle as opposed to the stock, because there are so many benefits. In my world, it's a better way to trade.
Okay. So looking for a little comeback here at a time when China's still closed up, Apple's down. But if Apple turns around, Micron's turning around.
Well, the first 10 minutes of your show, I know those things.
Wait, no, that's the second hour.
I know.
The first hour we talked about the dollar right off the top because it is the most important thing.
That's why the market is where it is. So anything positive, the one thing I want to finish with is we're near the end of earnings season and we came out with positive earnings, which is good. Let's remember that corporate profits are at a 70-year high. People talk about inflation or interest rates being at an X amount year high, but let's remember, corporate profits are at corporate profitability is at a 70-year high.
All right. Like it. Always appreciate you showing up early for the hit. Now you just got to show up an hour early, Alan, and hang out. We hit the important stuff at the top.
All right. The market's not open at that time, but I'll pay better attention.
All right. I appreciate it, Mr. Nuckman. Good as always. Join us from the SIBO. Alan Nuckman, the K is silent. Chief Market Strategist at Bullseye Option. All right, let's talk some more tech now that we're feeling good. We heard some bull cases all morning here. But Apple is a little bit of a hang-up. But here's the thing. Apple's about to go positive, it looks like. Apple's shaved down its loss now to within 0.5%. And the Dow is trying to do that thing where it breaks out. Be right back.